Namaste. Today, we want to introduce you to Vipul B. Varshney, who has written this book on Ayodhya. And it's filled with beautiful pictures, and it actually tells the history of Ayodhya from the city it was during Bhagwan Ram's tenure, and then the journey that Ayodhya went through. So she is at the helm of building the airport at Ayodhya, and she's done a brilliant job compiling this book. So we wanted to understand her journey of why she wanted to write this book and make it available to readers of today so that they understand the history of Ayodhya and why it is such an important city in the Hindu scheme of things. Come, let's speak to her. Namaste. Um, so, ये जो book है Ayodhya, A Walk Through Living Heritage. Uh, was this आपने when did you think of writing this down?
Yeah.
Was it because the Ram Mandir was happening?
I'll tell you. Actually, by coincidence, I was designing the Ayodhya airport, and we are the architects. My company, we are the architects, and we started this work in 2021.
What is the name of the company?
It's Thapati Associates. Our head office is in Delhi, and we have quite a few offices all over India. In fact, some of them are abroad as well, New Zealand and Mauritius. So that's how the whole concept started. When I started sort of going to Ayodhya, और वहाँ पे मैंने कोशिश करी वहाँ का जो city है उसको जानने के लिए what are the landmarks and why is Ayodhya so it's a pilgrimage center for Hindus and why so many people are coming. So slowly and gradually, I came to know about its importance and why it is being revered in our country. And so many pilgrims from all over India, in fact, all over the world come to Ayodhya. So then I delved deeper into the books, into the scriptures. I came across Skand Puran translated in English. And that has a specific section called Ayodhya Mahatma. So there, in fact, I got to know about the major landmarks about in the city, like the ghats, various names, the temples, and how important they are, how they are associated with the life of Lord Ram, and so gradually then I spoke to lot many mahants and saints in Ayodhya and for the finer nuances. So that's how the whole concept, actually we were trying to improvise the architecture of Ayodhya airport. It had to be different from any XYZ airport. So to make it little specific, we were studying the architecture. And since I'm an author as well, this is my fifth book, the coffee table book. So the literature already was already sort of inspired me and everything. I keep on reading books. So it slowly and gradually it led me. I had so much information in my head. So I think I might as well start this book, and that would be very useful for Indians, in fact.
So which were the books that you've written before this?
Okay. My first book got published in 2009, actually. It was, in fact, I am residing in Lucknow. I think that you might be knowing.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and I'm also convener in TAC, Indian National Trust for Art and Cultural Heritage. So we were doing documentation, lot of documentation of Lucknow buildings, heritage properties and all that stuff. So my first book got published in 2009, Lucknow a Treasure. Then 2017, again, Lucknow, A Walk Through History. It had the whole documentation of all the Bhul-Bhulaiyas and Imambaras, temples, Shitla Devi Mandir, and whatnot, with architectural drawing
So
and detail.
I'll just kind of want a little bit of clarity here. Since Ayodhya, in the book Ayodhya, a walk through heritage, you are going back into the Skanda Puranas, okay, and you are trying to bring back the whole religiosity involved in the place Ayodhya and why it is so important for the Hindus of the nation. You are from Lucknow and you have dealt with the history of Lucknow. In any of your books, have you delved deeper into that Lucknow was actually Lakshmanpuri?
Yes, yes, very much. It's there. Like my second book, it was Lucknow walk through history. We have a particular specific section in which I had delved what was Lucknow before the Nawabs of Lucknow. Now, everybody sort of keeps on telling Lucknow is city of Nawabs, but that's not true.
No.
Yeah, the
Lucknow was given to Lakshman. It was.
Lakshmi, yes. So
Hmm,
when Ram returned to Ayodhya,
hmm,
he gave this section of the land to his brother, Lord Lakshmana, and from then itself, and it had a hillock which was called Lakshman Katila, and there was a big Shivalaya, and there was a
hmm.
cave going down below which had a Shesh Nag, they used to say, and a shivling inside. And
हाँ
people,
और जो रूमी दरवाजा है उसके पीछे ही there are still structures that actually
what I'm
point
saying,
to.
that's the same hillock. And now there's a big Tile Wali Masjid over it, which
Hmm,
in fact Aurangzeb ordered to be built. It was built by Kuli Khan. That was the
hmm,
hillock which was known as Lakshman Tila. So I had delved deeply into this context in my second book, Lucknow, City of Heritage and Culture, a walk through history. In
hmm.
that, in specifically, I have, and then this whole land. In fact, there's a small area called Kudia Ghat now along the river Gomti. It was Kondil Rishi's ashram previously.
Hmm.
So there are
Hmm.
so many small anecdotes and I won't call folk tales. It's part of history. So which
Hmm.
people tend to forget, and new names have come up, and in due course of time. So I have done a bit of research in Lucknow itself. That Sheetla
जी.
Devi Mandir वो बहुत
Yeah.
पुरानी है हमारे यहाँ. तो बहुत सारी चीजें ठीक है. अयोध्या is of course older than कहते हैं आदिपुरी है,
Hmm.
विश्व मोक्षदायिनी city है, but Lucknow being very close to it, it had lot many influences, and अयोध्या itself अपने आप में कोई अलग उसको रख ही नहीं सकते. वो पूरी
Hmm.
टेरिटरी इधर तक उसका इन्फ्लुएंस था लखनऊ की तरफ.
जी. So, when you were working on the Ayodhya airport, you were interacting with the people there. How abreast are you? Do you feel that the people there and the youngsters aware of the past and the history of Ayodhya? Because that's what we are fighting against. Now, the information exchange about our history, uh, it's it should come out in the right way and it should influence our youngsters so that they can connect with their roots.
Very true. That way, I feel ki, I'm not very happy of the information which is there among the youngsters, the youth of Ayodhya, or for that matter, this whole region. Because ठीक है, राम से तो एसोसिएट कर लेते हैं सब लोग, और सबको पता है कि राम की जन्मभूमि और कर्म भूमि है. But
Hmm.
the point is ki, and there are so many stories associated not just with the Lord Ram. There are many like Shringi ऋषि का आश्रम है, मेधा ऋषि का आश्रम जो कि जहाँ पर दुर्गा सप्तशती लिखी गई. Tulsidas was born in Gonda, which is larger Ayodhya. He wrote Hanuman Chalisa out there. And so many Astik Rishi का आश्रम श्रवण कुमार ने वहीं पर अपने पेरेंट्स को पानी पिलाया था जब अपने ब्लाइंड पेरेंट्स को like a whole lot of stories are associated with this place. But
Hmm.
youngsters are not very much aware. It's just that, of course, now the Ram temple has been built and everyone is talking about Ram. But there are many other important stories from these scriptures with which we can associate to it.
So how are you going to popularize this book amongst youngsters or people who need to know about the Vedic or the historical aspect of Ayodhya?
Yeah. So actually, what we have in mind with my publisher, we are making, in fact, of course, the book is on Amazon, and we are trying to publicize it through social media, various platforms of social media, and otherwise also we have some videos made, specific
Mm.
videos made, which we are putting on YouTube. And because
Mm.
this generation is mostly into on internet, they are hooked to it,
जी
है ना?
जी
तो यही एक हम लोग को मीडिया मीडिया समझ में आता है कि जहाँ पर यंगस्टर्स एसोसिएट करेंगे. Then we are having lot many talks. In fact, I'm in touch with the local people in Ayodhya to have a small book launch out there as well. So
Hmm.
this is how I'm planning. There also there would be a media publicity that the some
I think there should be an outreach in schools also, say, urban schools, schools in Delhi, Noida, Delhi NCR, everywhere, because the the problem is not with the rural segment as such. Problem is mostly with the urban segment who are so into aping the West and all that they don't want to be
yes,
associated with the history of their own land. So
yes,
the outreach should be there in the city schools so
very
that
true,
more and more people know.
very
क्योंकि
true.
in most of the schools आप देखो convent schools में people are mm, they do talk about the Bible and all, but what about your own history? And this is not mythology. It's
Very
proven
true.
that uh, Ram, Bhagwan Ram and Lakshman and Ma Sita is not mythology. It is our history.
So I'll tell
So,
you, Sharmi ji, like we have a chapter in Lucknow of Intact, we
hmm,
have a chapter
hmm,
as well in Ayodhya, which is
hmm,
Ayodhya Intact. So I was just speaking to the convener just yesterday, Ms.
hmm,
Manjula Jhunjhunwala, that we are
hmm,
going to organize programs in Ayodhya and we are going to have heritage
hmm.
walks where we would invite school children to come with us, and we would tell the importance of these important the prominent landmarks of Ayodhya, and let them know the local history, local importance, and local association of
And also maybe do skits, small
yeah,
skits in schools,
Karnataka
and
type.
create a nice documentary that can be aired in the auditorium so that interest factor is generated. This is a generation of visual medium. So
Yeah,
visually it has to be extremely, like I see in your book, you've used beautiful pictures. The pictures in the book are it's they're just brilliant. So, and they speak about the architectural heritage that India is known for. So, if I think a consolidated effort needs to be done to popularize, to make our youngsters feel proud of the heritage that this country has.
very true.
So,
Yeah, today, yeah,
tell
plan.
me about the Ram Mandir a bit. You must have been there.
Sorry, Ram temple.
The Ram Mandir.
Yes, I had been there because during the inauguration time, I was not very well. So after that, we went, and it's just magnificent. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the word. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. And how has the city changed? You must have noticed the change when the temple was being built and infrastructurally the city was being developed. So you kind of went into the history of Ayodhya, where it was this beautiful, magnificent city, and then it crumbled into ruins, and there were invaders, and there was destruction, and then again to see, like it's like a journey coming full circle, life coming full circle in Ayodhya, and now again it has been done up again because the mandir is there. So what would you say about the change? Means I have heard stories that Ram Lalla was kept in a tent. It was pitiable, and the city was dirty, dingy, dusty. अब काफी बदल गया है तो वो बदलाव के बारे में कुछ बताइए.
See, I remember, I had gone there around 8 years back, and I saw that condition which you were speaking about. That it was a big tent and a small statue of Ram Lalla, the infant Ram Lalla was kept down below, and so much of um, um, dirt and everything all around. And we were in a long queue, and it took us 2 hours to have a darshan. And
Hmm.
then I went last year, and the whole year I was like 2 years, I've been traveling to and fro. And of course, the situation was transforming, but it was,
Hmm.
of course, the transition period is always little troubling, but that was something which we all were bearing, like to have a brighter days ahead, for the brighter days ahead. So they were when we went last year, on the Ram Navami I was there, and we got stuck in the traffic jam because all the machines and all the roads were being built, the sewer lines were dug up, and so many things were planned by the government to develop
Hmm.
its infrastructure. And
Hmm.
lot many things were happening. So I did my research in all that transition period of Ayodhya. And then when the airport was inaugurated, I went there. And of course, the smooth ride to the airport with the much better facilities, and
Hmm.
sab kuch karte karte. So I saw the whole transformation from Ramlala in the tent, and with now the magnificent temple. So it
Hmm.
is a whole journey, and what a transformation! What a transformation! It's a
Hmm.
beautiful city, and still the work is being done. It's not complete
Done.
yet. The government
हाँ.
is still onto it. And apart from Ayodhya, can you believe it? So many other adjoining areas are being developed. So many industries are coming. Five-star hotels, resorts, they are all coming up. And in our architectural fraternity, all my friends are engaged. So many friends are engaged in those kind of projects. So it's just wonderful to
Miss
speak.
Vashni, there is also a concern. Like when the Kashi Vishwanath Dham came up, the Banaras had been completely transformed. It was like the Dham and its periphery was clean and all. Over the past 1 or 2 years, per se, there were issues of swachhata, people were making the roads dirty. So this whole issue of people lacking the civic sense to keep their place clean has been questioned from time to time. Do you see Ayodhya also going in the same path? Because people do have to realize that the government alone cannot do something, cannot do everything to keep a place clean. It is the people's responsibility also. So how will the government address this? Will fines be imposed agar littering hua if people are spitting, if they are making the place dirty? Do you think fines should be imposed in such conditions? And what is the government going to do about it to maintain the cleanliness of the place?
No, that thing comes from within. You know, the civic sense is
Hmm.
unfortunately a little less in our country. And I was
Hmm.
just watching a video of Indore, you know,
Hmm.
inner city in India. The
Hmm.
people are, it's just not the government which is doing it. It's a people's movement, basically. The people are feeling that they have that sense in their mind, their city has to be clean. And the way the even the chartwala is keeping a dustbin, and even pedestrian who's walking is not spitting or whatever. So
Hmm.
even
Hmm.
like in Ayodhya, what
Hmm.
Varanasi, in fact,
Hmm.
Varanasi also last month I was there regarding some
Hmm.
work, and of course, the ghats have again been dirtied, but the whole corridor of the Kashi Vishwanath is intact abhi tak, a little bit.
Hmm.
But घाट्स में तो वही सब प्रॉब्लम फिर से शुरू हो गई है.
तो
So
फाइन्स इम्पोज क्यों नहीं करता है?
फाइन इम्पोज क्यों नहीं करता? बिल्कुल ठीक बात है. इन द वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज व्हेन वी गो वी एडमायर द सिटीज एंड वी से इट्स सो ब्यूटीफुल, सो
We
क्लीन.
are so clean, but
हांगकांग एंड
there is a very strict system of imposing fines.
yes, yes. So the government can think of some minimum fine for even for all from all walks of life, the people from all walks
Yeah,
of life. At least
yeah.
उसकी एक सेंस आ जाएगी. जैसे वो
Hmm.
स्पीडिंग का होता है चालान, स्पीडिंग का
Hmm.
चालान होता है. इनफैक्ट वी हैव पार्क्स इन अ म्युनिसिपल limits that says कि if you pick a rose you'll be fined $100, or if you bring a
जी.
dog inside you'll be fined. So same
Hmm.
way, so it can come up like even say 25 rupees, 50 rupees. कुछ होगा तो I think it will be better. And then apart from
Hmm.
fine, some awareness programs have to be there. Like जैसे नुक्कड़ नाटक होते हैं, जैसे you were saying small
जी.
skits. है ना? तो
Yeah.
ये म्युनिसिपल जो ये अपने यहाँ कॉर्पोरेशंस होती हैं सिटीज में,
Hmm.
who are into this cleanliness of the city, they can have this kind of wing in their department where these public awareness programs are being held continuously.
जी.
They
जी.
they can have this like the development authorities and municipal corporations, because
Hmm.
उन्हीं के ऊपर burden आता है ना, and they are
जी.
also sometimes say कि we don't have so many employees this and that. तो वो अगर एक थोड़ा सा अपना फंड्स को इस चीज के लिए भी रख लें, और वो
Hmm.
अवेयरनेस प्रोग्राम देखो एनजीओज तो करती हैं. लाइक हमने
Hmm.
जब आई एम बीइंग इन इंटैक, आई स्टार्टेड दैट program of clean monument. तो हमने
Hmm.
कम से हम 500 स्कूल चिल्ड्रन को लेके गए थे with this with झाड़ू and dustbins and what not. और वो बच्चों it came up वो सब सफाई करके, and then they sang and they had a picnic and they sang songs and all. नाउ द मीडिया में इतना उन्होंने लिखा, मीडिया वालों ने एक एक मूवमेंट सा डेवलप हुआ था उन दिनों, 2 साल हमने किया था. तो वो मॉन्यूमेंट्स पे किया था, आप घाट्स पे भी कर दो, रोड्स पे भी करो. तो ये एक पब्लिक अवेयरनेस के प्रोग्राम्स तो है ही हैं. पब्लिक को
Hmm.
थोड़ा सा अवेयरनेस आनी ही चाहिए, एंड फाइन कैन डू ऑफ कोर्स देयर बिट. तो इट्स इन
Uh,
टोटल होना चाहिए.
yeah. Vipul ji, you just said you were in Kashi. Are you working on something regarding the Gyanvapi mosque?
No, no, not Gyanvapi. We are again engaged in the airport of Panagar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's
So after this book, what what are you working on next?
yeah, my book is almost, the manuscript is here only. I would have shown you. I'm doing temples of Awadh.
Okay.
Now, what is happening is Awadh is not just Lucknow. In
Hmm.
olden days, Awadh included Gorakhpur.
See, the thing is,
You state.
what the name itself has come from Ayodhya. So we can't deny that the origin is Ayodhya. उसके
Yes,
बाद जो भी contortions and distortions
तो
And
मुगल
हाँ
पीरियड में इसका नाम अवध रखा गया,
हाँ
शॉर्टर फॉर्म ऑफ जिसका वध ना किया जाए, किया
हम्म
जा सके, वो
हम्म
अवध है। तो इट्स
हम्म
एंड अयोध्या इज अगेन योद्धा एंड the
हम्म
place where the peace prevails because there is no youth. That is it.
हम्म
So now this book would encompass Banaras, Allahabad, Lucknow, Ayodhya, and of course this Ambedkar Nagar, this Shravasti region. So this whole region was our in the times of Mughals as well as before that era. So
हम्म
I found out almost like 500 temples, more than 500 to 600 temples. Because of course in North India, are you stationed in Delhi? I'm so sorry, I'm not aware from where are you speaking. But the point is, uh, नॉर्थ में हमारे पास टेम्पल्स कम है, वो जो भी
because of the Islamic invasions.
इन
ज्यादा तोड़े गए थे.
आइकनोक्लाज्म जो हुआ है इन्वेडर्स का फ्रॉम 11th century to 13th century, not many invaders came and they just because north ने सब फेस किया, they came from the western side and pura north pura ka pura all the temples were dismantled, they were destroyed and जो भी कुछ हुआ, तो लेकिन जितने भी बचे हमारे temples हमें पता नहीं है, that's the my
हम्म
issue. Because कोई शेड के नीचे है, कोई पीपल के पेड़ के नीचे, but you know somewhere Draupadi is associated, somewhere of Mahabharat period, somewhere Sita is associated, like all our characters from the scriptures are associated somewhere or the other, and these temples are in, some of them are in good shape, but most of them nobody knows about them, and they're lying in a corner, lying in the by lanes under the tree. So that's how I found out, and I compiled a list of around 600 temples. So that will give.
So, so a lot of people think, a lot of experts and political experts and authors and historians think that all these important temples, all these important mandirs should be reclaimed. What do you feel?
Sorry, last word I missed it. I'm so sorry. All the
Should be
temples.
reclaimed. मतलब जैसे
Yes,
जैसे
reclaimed. Yeah, yeah. Got it. Yeah. Reclaimed, of course, they should be reclaimed, of course, in a cordial manner, if that's possible. But
in a legal way,
sorted,
like how we sorted the
sorted,
Ayodhya issue,
yeah,
वैसे ही.
बिल्कुल
So
होना चाहिए.
do you see the Kashi Vishwanath mandir, the original mandir being set up after the Gyanvapi dispute is completely sorted?
I think it is not the end of the road. We have so many temples lying. Of course, कुछ का तो पता नहीं है, लेकिन जिनका पता भी है, तो उनके ऊपर कुछ कुछ और structures आ गए हैं. We have ample examples all over North India. So of course we should do something about it, and it's very
हाँ,
important
लेकिन
for a
what
faith. Ah,
I'm specifically asking, Gyanvapi, do you think इसका solution आएगा? Like हमको जो ज्ञानवापी का जो मंदिर है वो हम रिक्लेम कर सकेंगे?
नहीं कर पाएंगे, बिल्कुल कर पाएंगे. And if there is a will of people, and we have full faith in our judiciary, and judiciary should क्या है ही वो, it's सर्वोपरि, it's the final authority. So we, if the all the evidences are with us, and the records show it, and there are physical evidences. So why no? We would be getting it, and we would be reclaiming it. That's how I believe, and I have full faith.
चलो, इसी बात पे, इसी पॉजिटिव नोट पे, थैंक यू सो मच विपुल जी for speaking to us, for speaking about your book, and I hope this book goes to every house and is read by our youngsters who need to know about the history of Ayodhya. And it has beautiful pictures. It's a very beautifully compiled book. And because we need to go back to our roots, we need to understand who we are, from where we have come, and how beautiful this Sanatani civilization is. And hence, it has withstood all the all the extremities, all the invasions, and still we are standing so strong. And we have this beautiful mandir that has come up, which has been like a shot in the arm for our civilization, for Hindus of this country. Thank you so much for speaking to us.